Hello everybody, welcome. Today I am going to be working with you to make some embellishment clusters. So that'll be kind of fun. We're just going to use all kinds of things, those scraps and bits and pieces, and I've just pulled out a bunch of stuff and that's what we're going to do today. So I'm Christy here at My Artful Adventures, and we are with the Take 5 group today. It's our Wednesday with Take 5. And this is a group on Facebook, and so the link is there in the description if you'd like to go over and check out that group. And it's all about taking 5 for yourself. I mean, who can't use taking 5 just for a few minutes? And just what am I trying to think of? just taking 5, just 5 minutes for yourself. And we all need a break, and using some time for yourself for crafting or whatever you would like to do, that is always something that is it's beneficial to the soul. It just is relaxing, although when your project doesn't go right, sometimes it's not quite as relaxing as we want, right? So, but it should be somewhat relaxing and certainly enjoyable, right? Okay, I have done something here and lost my one spot for comments. Hang on one second. There we go. Okay, hi Estella and Jeannie. So glad you're here with me today. And so we're in the Take 5 group. Again, I'm Christy with My Artful Adventures, and we're going to make some embellishment clusters. And I've just grabbed some, actually, you're going to think it looks like great big packs, but sometimes that's the amount of stuff that I sometimes have left over. I got to move my coffee. I got to move it somewhere safer than that. I'll just get knocked over with whatever I'm doing there. So, oh, how funny. I just had this on running around the house. I just realized I was going to change my shirt and have something a little bit more camera worthy. I completely forgot about it. So I had somebody come, and they were working in the bathroom, that shower that we had redone. They didn't do the corners where the walls meet. They didn't do that correctly, and it was starting to crack. And then they claimed that I should have had something else. I'm like, oh my gosh, when you hire somebody to do something, you would just like for them to show up with the things they need, right? Don't send a woman who knows nothing about that to the store and then expect her and the people at the store to figure it out. So, that is no fun. Hey Sue, how are you? And Mary? Mary's up after me. She's going to be following me. I'm going to put you down here at the desktop here. So there's a couple of ways that you can make embellishment. Oh, well, there's probably way more than a couple of ways to be able to make embellishment clusters. You can do them on a whole strip. They call that a snippet roll, and you can just roll it all up. You just keep adding and adding to it, and that's kind of a fun way to do it. And then you can also just make them in little clusters. So a lot of times I kind of had been putting some Valentine's things all in one spot, the rest of packs of papers that I had and whatever, and there's more than one pack in here. So I thought, oh, this would be kind of a fun thing to pull out and just, see what's in here and just start putting together some things. So I think I'm just gonna kind of push all of these over to the side here, or up in front of me, and then just grab something and start. So, and I mean, this is even like little bits and pieces like this. Sometimes, I'll just even save little things like this and throw them back in the packet. And usually they come, if you're buying scrapbook collections, they usually come in some kind of a bag like that. And at least, when you buy a collection like from Close to My Heart, or it comes in that bag, and those bags come in handy. They've got those Ziploc tops. So let's just get going here. Actually, I've already pulled out this bright color, and I see some bright things right here. let's just go ahead and work with this piece. Oh, this has got a lot of fun stuff here. Oop, I saw another one there. So just all kinds of goodies. What are you guys doing today? Hi, Sue. Oh, both my Sues are here today. So, I don't know. And, you know, you can either cut out little pieces to use for the base. You can tear them. Whatever you want to do to get going. And I've really kind of debated whether to start working on a snippet roll or just make little clusters. Maybe we'll do some of both today. I don't know. And I never mind little torn pieces. So I think I'm just going to start and just tear off a piece. That sounds like a good way to start, right? We'll just tear off a piece. Hey, Deborah. I'm good. How are you doing? Hi, Melanie. All right. So there we've got, we're just going to use one. And now things like this, usually I'll take something, and if it ends up looking like that, I'll just toss it. I usually don't find anything better to do with something like that. And then you just start layering. So you might find something, maybe we'll add another piece of paper onto here. And these roses are cute. You know, maybe, oh, I tell you what, let's do this. Let's cut out one of these diamond shapes. That'd be cute. And always look at your paper to see if there's some kind of pattern that's already there that you can utilize. That makes it fun if you can utilize something that's already on there, right? So that's cute. And you know, we're just going to use this for the base, and who knows, maybe some of it will stick out, maybe none of it will stick out. So, you know, you just have to play around with it, and you never know how it's going to turn out. That's kind of the fun of it. A lot of people don't like that. They want to plan and make sure they know what's going on, and, you know, that's fine. Actually, let's take a little snippet of this. I'm going to cut this off. Let's take a little bit of this. And let's just kind of tuck that on there. And sometimes I kind of play around and just tuck some things on before I really glue it down. Oh, you know what? Maybe I will take one of these little hearts off of here. Now, if you've got some lace or something that you want to use, and like this has little pieces that I'm going to cut those little pieces off and kind of just keep the heart shape. Then what I like to do, and I mean, it's kind of squared on the edges. You can see that. Oh, maybe I should pull us down a little bit farther. Hang on just a second. I'll pull us down. All right. Yeah, that's a little bit better. How's that? Okay. So usually when I've got something like this that has these edges, I will put a little bit of glue on. And I should have made sure this was loosened up here in my little nozzle. But you know, the thing about little embellishment clusters, or, you know, snippet rolls where you can snip off a little piece to use. The one thing that is nice about that is that you can use them for junk journaling. You can use them for card making. You know, might have a mixed media piece that you can add it onto. So, you know, cards. There's all kinds of things that you could use a piece of, you know, a little bit of something like that. And there's kind of the beginning of our base. I don't like this all rough. I mean, all squared off. Let's see if I can tear it a little bit. Just a little bit of tear here and there. Oh, Deborah says she's doing better. Oh my goodness, that must mean you must have been sick or something, Deborah. I'm sorry. And one of our friends said she was getting ready to have some surgeries too. Was that you, Deborah? That's never all that fun either, is it? And maybe we'll just, since we've got a little piece of real lace, maybe we'll use a little bit of this sticker on here. And your embellishment clusters can be as big or small as you want. You never know what you're going to use them for. And so, oh, I wish I'd have torn that the other way. If you tear your part that you're holding and tear it away from you, you're not going to get the little white part. If you're tearing it towards you, then you're going to get some little white edging on there. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and start gluing some of this down. Well, actually, I don't even need to glue that piece. It's a sticker, but I'm going to anyway. And you just pop it on here. Oh, that's a pretty piece on there. I wonder if there's a whole one of those back here. Oh, that's a pretty rose. Maybe we can actually use that part. And just stick them on there any which way that you want. Now you can make them kind of flat like this, especially if you don't know exactly what you're going to be doing with it. And if you just add, I don't know, you just move it around. You know, there's no rhyme or reason to it, really. Now I got to see which way is probably the right side of this. Lace really kind of has a right and a wrong side, and sometimes, depending on what it is, sometimes it's a little bit hard to see. I need to hold that down for a second. I don't think it's gonna stay on there. Hello, Susan, how are you? Oh my goodness, Deborah, how did I not know that? Recovering from a stroke and surgery to remove a blood clot. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm certainly glad you're doing better. My goodness. How long ago was that? And Jeannie's here with us. Good morning, Carol. How are you? Okay, so we've got that. Let me see if I can, let me rummage through here and see if there's any more of that paper that we could cut a bigger size of that rose off of. Oh, there's bigger pieces of that paper. I tell you, sometimes in a collection, it's really funny the stuff they put together. Like, look at this. Would you have ever thought that would have been in a collection for Valentine's Day? But that's a fun paper. Oh, this could be good. Now, you guys, here's a good tip too. When you come across things like these are stickers. This is a sheet that was meant to cut apart, mostly to use for either some tags or border pieces. But those are great pieces to have to, do some cutting on and use for things like this. As well as I saw this sheet in here too when I was looking. Here's another piece to be able to do some things and make some clusters or just some, some other kinds of ephemera that you can use. Anything like this that you can cut apart makes a great piece to use. This is, I'm not really thrilled with the way this is turning out here. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out here. And you can add, whatever you want to. get some words on here. I don't know. And that's covering up that. Maybe I'll just kind of tuck that in behind there. And you know what? Now, when I said that it's kind of the fun part of, you know, not knowing really where it's going to be going, so sometimes you can come up with something and just think to yourself, I don't like that at all. I'm not really happy with the way it turned out. So sometimes the surprise is not all that great. And that's okay. You know, you might find something eventually that you want to use it on. Let's see. Maybe we can use one of these little stickers on here. You know, and just start adding some stuff. Now, I don't really have anything. Oh, I know what would be fun to add there. Let me see. Hang on one second. I gotta reach up here. Let's use some of these little, I don't even know what you call these. Pops of color. This is actually from scrapbook.com. This is their brand. This is like so many of the other things. And then we've got this light pink, or oh, that doesn't really go. That's got too much purple in that pink. Let's use this soft pink and put just some little dots on here. Oh, I know. I have an idea. Let's put a little bit of ribbon on here behind. And I think I will just dovetail this ribbon. Let's do that. Cut it and then dovetail it. I need to have another pair of scissors. I try to keep one that I also use just for ribbon, and I don't really do a lot with fabric in here. I have scissors that are my fabric scissors, and they don't really stay in here in the craft area. I don't have enough room out here to keep all of that together. Let's do this. We'll make it kind of like a little, maybe it looks better this way with it pointing up. Nope, I don't like that. Put it back like this. And have the little tails come out down here. That is just so, that is so slippery. I'm having a hard time getting it going where it's supposed to be. Hi, Helen. How are you? What I really need is my tiny attacher, but I don't think it has any staples in it right now. So, glue it is. We'll just pinch that together for a second. You know what? While that is waiting, let's go ahead and put some little dots on here. Actually, nope. If I put the dots on now, I'll have to be super careful where I pick it up, right? Let's see. So you can just put ribbons and whatever you want to on here. I keep grabbing this other funny color of pink to use. The Sunday before Christmas. Deborah, that just happened not that long ago. Well, I'm glad you're getting better. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Hopefully we give you something to pass the time. Okay, let's see. That is really not sticking that good. I probably should have gotten some. Oh, there we go. I can feel, oh, I know what to do. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Let me just grab a little clip. There we go. Now we can keep working on it. And then I'm just going to put some little dots along here. Does this have something inside? Nope, but why isn't it coming out? And like I've told you before, see, I should follow my own advice. When you're doing something like this, grab something and try to give it a little squirt before it all goes haywire. Ah, I dropped it. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna get it done. It's like it's got something in the tip. It does. This part needs to come out. I was right the first time. It has this little stopper thing in it. There we go. Now it's gonna go. Oops. Okay, there we go. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, so let's just put like some little dots along here. Maybe we just put 3 of those. Maybe we just put 3 up here on the top too. There's just no rhyme or reason to this. You just start putting stuff places. And then you've just got, a cute little cluster of something. And then, you can stick that somewhere. I don't know. It's just stuff to do stuff with, right? I mean, isn't that the point of having the stuff to do the stuff? I'm going to set that over to the side. Oh my goodness, you guys. Let's see about... Let's take one of these fun little things and use it kind of as a beginning point. Well, first of all, let's see what else there is to go with it. I'm going to cut part of this out. Use my great big scissors today. So that's, look, you could actually fix that as almost like a bookmark, you guys. You could doll this up and use it for a bookmark. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay. And now the back of this is kind of fun. It's got, maybe we just use this for, oh, you know what? This is kind of a fun thing to do with some of these little, I don't know what you call it. Just says pops of color. I don't really know. I can't even think of what you call these. Like, I know there's Nuvo drops, and and I don't even know what we really call them. They just make kind of faux enamel dots. But one of the other things that you can do with things like this is you can take them and just kind of add some texture and dimension by just kind of putting it on like this. And that's kind of fun to do. And when you're looking for things like to, add to something, adding some texture and dimension into whatever it is, that's one of the best things. because by adding that, you've added a lot of interest. That one kind of got messy. But let me pick it up here and I'll show you. Then let's get out one of the green ones and put it on some of the leaves. See, look at the texture that it gives. So even just by doing that, that's kind of a fun way to add a little something something, right? Okay, let me find some green to put on. And you know, I think in that collection there had been this minty green color. It's right here's some more of the stuff. Here's part of that collection that was with that, and they had this minty green color in here. So let's use a little bit of this on some of these leaves. Look at this. See, look, I've been busted having products that I've never used. At least they're not dried out. Oh my goodness, you guys, when we were talking about doing organizing, and I thought, you know, that I just dread going through and organizing stuff, because always I find things that aren't even fit to use anymore. I never used them that much, and you know, then they just dry up, and it just is heartbreaking. Okay, so now we've got some little leaves, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of this mint green on some of these leaves and the vines. And you can just, you know, add as little or as much as you want. But because I'm having fun with this, I'm just gonna add a bunch. And just add a little to most of these little funny leaves. These remind me of some of those great big leaves on some of those house plants. You know, I gave up my middle daughter, who has moved here with us. She loves houseplants. She wants them everywhere. I gave up on houseplants a long time ago. And when I did that, you know, I'm going to use something kind of a tiny thing to kind of move some of this around. And let's see if this will work. Just kind of dip it in here. So that I can get a little bit of a... You could use a toothpick or whatever, just something small to kind of drag through a little bit. But I gave up houseplants many years ago when child number 2 came along, because it was just like somebody else needing food and water. It's just like, I can only take so much of this. It's just like, oh my goodness. And then, you know, if you want to do any traveling or anything, you know, somebody's got to take care of your plants, just like if you had any, you know, pets or anything. You've got to have them taken care of. I do like plants outside. I'm not that great with them. I would like to have somebody who would come and take care of them. And they just look good for me. Oh my goodness. How many of you love plants? Okay, so now we've added just a little bit of something on there. Isn't that pretty? I like that. And it's just got a nice little sheen to it. Some of these things are iridescent. These aren't. I have some that are Nouveau Dream Drops. And if you're interested in something like this, and if you want them to make it to where they look like little enamel dots, the Nouveau Dream Drops are some of the best to make the little dots easy. They are almost like a perfect little dot every time you use them. And you can use them like this too, and kind of drag them around and add some, you know, some something to things like that too. So, you know, you can do whatever you want to with them. Let's use a little bit of, let's see what else was with this. I saw this lacy paper was with it. This is kind of pretty. So we could put a little bit of this down with it. And just tear the edges. Now my back piece here doesn't have edges torn. We cut it, and that's okay too. You can mix the things up if you want to. How many of you have tried something like the little dream dots or something? This is going to be a really big piece, you guys. It's going to be a long piece of an embellishment. And that's okay. Just kind of put some goodies down here. Let's see, I know there were stickers left of that too. Let's see what they had. Oh, there's some butterflies. There's some butterflies. There's another rose. There's some little hearts on there. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to use that. Maybe we just use some of these other fun pieces. Oh, let's do this. Let's just do it like this. We'll just make it a nice, cleaner looking piece than what the other one was. This is a cute piece. Oh, I like how the gold. I like the gold. That's pretty. Here's like a little gold heart. See, are there some more of those gold hearts? Here's one that's like kind of half and half. Maybe we could add that down here. There, what you think? That, oh, I like this one. This is kind of coming together better than it was with the other torn pieces. I like this. Let's see, what else should we add on here? Oh, maybe add this little green leaf since we've got some of the other green pieces. I kind of wish I would have put this under. Let's see if we can, since these are stickers, a lot of times you can kind of get a little wiggle room. Before they really set. I like that. And then maybe the butterfly. I don't know about the butterfly. I don't know. I kind of like it just like this. Maybe I'll just put that. We'll wait for later for something like that. Look at that. How do you like that? That's kind of coming together. And you know what? We could even add a little bit. Oh, let's just, here, this will help kind of bring it together. Let's kind of add a little bit more of this in here. Gonna get it in the way here. Just basically kind of drawing it on. There, that kind of pulls that together from both sides. Maybe we'll add a little bit more of the pink onto here, onto the rose. You don't have to color it all on. Just a little, you know, here and there. Just to bring a little bit of interest. I usually wipe them off. Now these, they say it's best to like keep them upside down. So when I put them in the little bag, I keep them upside down. But look, I like that. That turned out kind of cute. See, okay, now that one I like. This one is okay. It's kind of a hodgepodge. And I do kind of like a mix of hodgepodge and things that might be a little bit neater. Neat and clean. But look, that was easy. So, basically it was from stickers, but it was just stuff I had left over. It was things I never had used yet, right? Thanks. I like it too, Sue. Helen, thanks, you guys. Use Stickles and Nuvo. Yes, and Stickles are great too. Oh, hey, you know what? Since we've got all this gold on here, let's do a little bit. Let's kind of pull the gold up too. And for some reason, Stickles, to me, they're easier to do line work with than some of these. So we could go back in here and just on some of these places, we'll just kind of expand that little line. And maybe there's this work down here that's kind of part of the, whatever this border is. Pull that down. Pull it down through here. So a lot of times, it's as much about kind of bringing it all together. Even though it's hodgepodge, there's some amount of, kind of making it more cohesive, right? And, I don't know. I already started that. I might as well end with some of that down there too. But this can kind of pull some of that gold throughout the whole little piece. That's really kind of pretty. It really would be kind of a pretty bookmark when it dries, right? I might save that for a bookmark. So maybe your embellishment clusters can turn into something else, right? So, yeah, I think I like that. I think I'm going to do that. Now, when you've got something like that and you've got your sticky parts that are sticking out here, you want to make sure that you get the sticky off. And one way that you can do that is you can use a little bit of something like, if you've got a little bit of powder, you can put on there. There's, I don't even know where mine is right now. There's a little bag that a lot of times we use to kind of rub over things that if you're going to emboss something, it's a tiny little bag and it's got something in it that's a little bit of powder, but it's so fine, and it just is to help take like static off really of cards and things so that your embossing powder doesn't stick where you don't want it to. But even something like that, you don't need very much. You could use a tiny bit of like what am I trying to think? Cornstarch. Cornstarch would be perfect to use a tiny bit of on that. Of course, I don't have any cornstarch out here in the craft room. but yeah, I like that. I think that one turned out good. So there, we've made another one. Let's see. Let me see if I've got what other collection of paper we've got in here. Now, talking about the other day when we were talking about organizing paper, I was thinking about these packs that I keep like this and I never finish. I was thinking about how much plain colored cardstock is probably in a lot of these packs. Well, here, this whole pile right here seems to be solid colors. And even though I like to keep some of these together because they go with, the collections that I was using, at some point they need to go back in. And because I know a lot of times these pinks, I don't always, or not that pink, these soft pinks, a lot of times I don't have a lot of those soft pink colors in my cardstock where I normally keep my solid colors. So to get some of those things back into where they belong in their, rainbow selection, their rainbow category like we talked about, that would probably be really beneficial. Look at me talking about organizing. So that would be fun though, to get those things back in case I need to use them, right? Let's see, what else shall we do? That was fun. Maybe instead of a ornament, it's so close to Christmas. And look, oh my gosh, isn't this cute on this side too? This tiny heart paper. Instead of polka dots, it's like little hearts. I forgot this was in that collection. That was a fun piece. You know, sometimes we have these papers that, you know, they're still in here because I didn't want to use it. I didn't want to use all of it. I used some of it, but I didn't want to use all of it. And then in the end, look, there it is, still sitting there. Oh, here's another one. Here's some more stickers. I don't know. Let's see. What else have we got going on here? Look, these are cute. Oh, here's some little pieces already kind of cut. Let's layer some of these up. Oh, and here's another piece. You know, oh, I have a good idea. Oh, hang on a second. Let me, you guys, I'm going to grab a heart. Oh, I can just cut hearts out. I was going to cut my heart punch. I was going to grab my heart punch, but you know what? I can just cut some out because I don't even care if they're wonky. But let's cut some circles. Let's punch some circles out. This will be a fun idea. Well, that's the same as that one. Okay. Look at me telling you, you never know how they're going to turn out. And then I've already decided this is going to be a fun one. Maybe. Who knows, right? Let's find a piece. Actually, let's use this as a starting point. And I'm just going to start putting some little pieces down here. I'm just going to use these little circles. And start putting them on. Oh, this is cute on the back of this too. Look at all these funny little little icons. Those are cute. I like those. Just keep adding and adding. Maybe we'll just put that one on the edge. So you just have to have something that can be your base, right? These are fun. This would have been a great piece of paper because it truly has no, you know, up or down. I like papers like that because you can do so much with them. Actually, oops, let me use my little scissors. Let me get my little sharp scissors out. Hi, Terry, how are you? I'm first just going to cut it out and then we'll cut the hearts. And we'll just do it kind of like it was stickers. You don't have to always cut exactly around your shape. You can leave a little bit of, you know, border. And if you'll notice, usually that's how stickers are. They usually have a little bit of a border. So, You know, don't ever be afraid to do that. And usually one of the good things about, you know, if you're going to do some fussy cutting is just turn your paper. It ends up being easier most often to turn your paper than to turn your scissors. Let me see. I thought I had, yeah, some dimensionals out here. Oh, you know what? Let's not put that there. Hang on a second. That's that same circle there. Let's see what else we've got. Let's put another one of these. Actually, let's make a fun wonky heart out of one. To use my little scissors. And you can make a heart. They don't have to be perfect. They can just be fun shapes. They can be skinny and tall. They can be short and squatty. Just whatever. Let's do that. You guys, I had as many of these backer papers as I have peeled off of things. The other day I was in, we were doing something, and somebody told me that if you stick your thumbnail, or stick a fingernail in one of these, that it loosens up this back film enough that it makes it so much easier to get it off. And I'm just like, oh my word, how many of these things have I taken off over time? And I had never had anybody say that before. I never had heard that. Had any of you ever heard that before? I want to know. How could I have not known that? I don't remember where I put that. And I kind of wish that wasn't like, you know what? Let's layer another piece over that. I don't like it that the same words are there. There. And then a lot of times I'll put a little bit of, glue on here too, because these things kind of tend to lose their stickiness, and sometimes I forget. So this is what she was saying. Just like take your fingernail and poke it in there, and it does something enough to where it's easier to poke and like lift that thing off of there. And I'm like, amazing. But how many of you knew that? I know. Sue, did you know that? Terry says she never heard that. I know, right? There we go. Look at that. Well, evidently I was going to put something on there and I don't remember what it was. Let's see what else we can find. Let's just cut this part out. These are cute little things. And, this is another thing you can do. You can take something with its design, and this is kind of what we did with the first one when we cut out that rose that was in that little diamond shape. I'm going to put that on a dimensional too, actually. And, I don't really have a plan for these at this point, but they'll be ready, and they could go in like a junk journal. They could go on a scrapbook page. They could go on lots of things, right? Oops, that one's stuck on there enough. And there's already glue down there. So look at that. There's just like a fun little, grouping of stuff. And Mary says she didn't know that either, right? Okay. You know, these are always fun days in our Take 5 group because we don't have a theme today. And so it's always fun to go in and see what everybody is doing, and everybody probably has something different that they're doing, right? Hey, Susan says this is one of those tasks that we don't always take time to do when creating, but great to sit and make ready for when we're rushed to make something. That's true. And then if you make a whole little pile of these, and actually we didn't, okay, so I talked about doing a snippet roll. Maybe I'll do another one of those. Maybe I'll work on one of those next week because those are fun too. And I know the one that I have somewhere, if I was organized, I might know where it was. But, you know, those kinds of things are fun because they just keep going and going. And then on your snippet roll, you can just snip off a piece of it to have to use. Let's see, where is this? Where did we see the stickers that went with this? Maybe there's one that we could use like for the back or something. I don't know what happened to it, you guys. I saw it hiding in here before. Oh, here's another. You guys, here's another one of these. And these, I love dots. I love polka dots. And I was saying the other day how I really like black and white pieces, prints of some types, because they go so well with almost anything. You can take a black and white print and give it a pop of almost any color, and it really just, I don't know, I just like the way that looks. But here, so I've kept that paper because I liked it, but look what's on the other side of this. This has got some fun things, and these would all be super fun to cut out to use for some embellishments. Or see this one, you know what, I'm going to keep this one out, and I'm going to work on a snippet roll. So I think I'm going to keep that one. That would be fun. I got to remember that. I got to remember that's there. Oh, here's that piece that went with these. Let's see if there's anything else. I don't know. Maybe this little heart is cute. Just pop that on there. I don't know. It kind of seems like it needs something. Like, I wish I had like a doily. I don't have any of my doilies out. That would be fun to have. What are those other pieces of this lace? I had a piece of that lace that I just had a small piece cut out. I don't see it. But, you know, you could always put it on a bigger piece if you wanted something longer. I think I'm just going to leave it like this. I think that would be good enough. And, again, you know, you could put some stickles on or something if you wanted to kind of brighten it up a little bit. Put some other little dots on. Whatever you would want to do with that. That's kind of cute. Making sure that I hadn't laid something over those other ones before they were dry. But lots of fun things that you could do, you know, and then you actually could take something like this. Let's just start one. So Mary from the Painted Peach is going to be coming on after me. Just after I'm done. We actually try to get our people going like a couple of minutes before so that we have time to get them shared into the group, so that then if you're in the Take 5 group, all you have to do is just refresh your browser and then you can see the next person, right? And okay, So this is how you would start like a snippet roll. Usually it's wider, than this, but it doesn't have to be. It can be however, however big or small you want it to be. I like these little roses. But okay, so here is kind of my rule of thumb really is you take your biggest part, and then you start laying, and even if your background is a smaller piece, then you want to work kind of from largest to smallest, and then you actually are layering up your piece. So you've got something big and small. You can take your, and then maybe your last little things that you put on, things that have numbers on them are interesting. Little things that are words. A lot of times if you're, oh, that's something we didn't add on here. Well, it does have some words, on the little conversation hearts. But where's the one that had some little words? Maybe we could find something on here. Oh, here's one. I don't know if those go. Here's one that says love. And then maybe you can just put that on here. Maybe tuck that in. Well, that's not going to work because we've already added some dimension on here. Maybe you put it off to the side. I don't know. I don't like any of that. and that's why sometimes they go back to where they were. But if you take, something large, and then you can just build up. Let's see. Okay. Like here's something. Oh, here, let's use this one. And then I'll have to go back on some of these and make sure that, that I put something on the back so they're not all sticky. So we can add that onto there. And then maybe we cut out this little rose. And that's kind of a different pink color. Let's see, what about this one? Or maybe you could cut out some of these. You actually, you know what? Let's use this one. Now this is going to be, that's going to work because this is, going the other way. It's still large, so we can still add some smaller things along the way. Maybe we put this one over here. And then maybe we can, oh, here, let's do this. Let's put this one here. Good thing I got a little, with my little nozzle here, since I'm not sure how far that was going to be sticking out there. Let's take a little bit of this. How many of you look for ribbons and laces on sale when you can find them? I like this. I have to get that on there and let that set for a second so it'll stick on there. going to move that over a little bit. There. And then I'm just going to give this a curve to kind of go along with the curved edge of that other piece. And you know what? We could just leave this here like this if we wanted to. Maybe put another little something, maybe a tiny heart. Here's another little flower here. Actually, here's a little heart. Let's put this little heart on. Got glue on my fingers. So you just keep building. And, you know, there's, like I said, there's not really a big rhyme or reason to it. Other than you just add, and if you don't like the way it turned out, you know, take it off. I'm going to cut that little tiny sharp corner off. And I don't like this one either. It's too sharp. But, you know, you just keep building and building, you guys. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out with me while we did this. And I hope you got a few ideas. You know, not everything is about, you know, I don't always teach and have some magnificent thing every time. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us, though, and hopefully you learned something. And if nothing else, you know, just the idea of the layering and kind of, you know, start with your big piece and work up to smaller pieces. I think that is one of the important things. I think you'll get, you know, about the best for your clusters if you do it like that. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and we are ready to go over to see Mary and see what she's got going on over at the Painted Peach today. So you guys come back. I'll be back on Friday again, same time at noon Eastern. I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.